Hey, what's up, guys? Before we jump into the episode today, I want to share something with you guys that I'm actually pretty excited about. This Friday, May 15th at 10 a.m., I have a huge announcement for you guys. Can't say anything yet, but what I will say, if you guys are members of Patreon or thinking about being members of Patreon, where you get, ad-free listens to the podcast, you get to have a shout out in the descriptions. There's all kinds of tiers that you can join, but regardless of any tier, this is already announced on Patreon. If you guys want to go check it out, go check out Patreon. But if not, May 15th, this Friday at 10 a.m., we have a huge announcement, and I am so excited to show you guys. So make sure you're following our Instagram, and make sure that you're following our Facebook Imperfect fam. Follow us on Facebook Imperfect itself. All of the platforms, just follow us because this announcement will be everywhere. Friday at 10 a.m. I'm super excited to share with you guys what we've been working on months behind the scenes. I love you guys. Enjoy the show. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Imperfect. And guys, listen, it's just me again today. As you guys already know, I want to do a couple of these guys until we get over this pandemic officially, because I don't want to give you guys Zoom quality videos 24/7. I love them. I'm doing the best I can to edit and shoot them with the best quality possible, but of course, it being online, it's not going to be the best quality. So this is going to be a break from those Zoom podcast interviews type things, the conversations, I should say, so that you guys can see some fresh, solid, good quality content. Clean audio for me, clean video on the YouTube version if you guys are on YouTube. So yeah, let's just kind of jump into it. If you guys read the title, I graduated college. Congrats to all the high school seniors and college graduates out there. I mean, these, graduating is, amazing. I was... When I graduated high school, I was like, how did I even graduate, But college was something that, was a big accomplishment for me because of, honestly, I'm just a very bad learner. It takes me a lot of time. I'm really, really, really good on 1v1, one-on-one. And, classroom formats, especially online and things like that, I really, really struggle to get information. And I'll be real with you guys, graduating college, right? This has taken me 6 years for my bachelor's, right? Not 4, 6. And it's because I have failed over 6 classes. Yeah, that's like a semester's worth, like a full $4,000 semester's worth of classes gone because I have failed. And there's a lot more classes that, withdrawn or whatever. But yeah, college has not been easy for me. That's the point. So graduating was kind of especially that this last semester, somehow through this whole process, I ended up taking math as my last semester, and I failed this class twice. Not once, twice. First time, I stopped going halfway through. I knew I was not cut out for it. I knew I was not ready for it. I just dropped the class. Second time, I made it all the way through the class and kept going to classes, but I just couldn't pass. I don't know what it was. I just failed the test. I don't know. It was super hard. But what changed this last semester? I don't know why, but I feel like, things get it sucks that you don't go through college once, so all the new things to learn the second time, because there's just so much I didn't know the first time. But I mean, I know this is sound cliche, but when you actually sit down and put your mind to it, you really can't accomplish anything. With this math class, I knew I had to take it my last semester. If I did not pass this math class, I would not graduate, and I did not want that over my head. In fact, it was like a challenge for me. I will pass this math class, right? And I just sat down and was like, I'm gonna do this, and I just studied. I literally read the math book. I read math. What? I went through the examples, walked through it, met with my professor maybe 2 or 3 times, but most of it was just actually sitting down. I went online, I researched other examples, I ran through it, I did the examples at the back of the book. I did everything I possibly could to actually pass this math class. And, I had a B, and then I took my final, which wasn't the sexiest, and then I dropped down to a C. I think it was a C plus even. So I did graduate math, and for me, that was huge, because it was didn't even like I said, the first class I dropped out, so it was nothing, and then the second time was an F, and then this time it was a C, so C plus even. So it was I felt good about that. I was just this, to me, this is really good because I actually put my mind to something and actually passed and saw what I can do. I, of all people, am so bad at math, it's not even funny. The name of the class was Math in Modern Society. And this class, like a lot of people are like, oh, it's easy, it's easy. For me, it just isn't, man. I just can't. I don't know formulas. I don't know. It was tough, but long story short is I passed. So, like I said, a lot of my classes this last semester, like this math class, I just did really exceptionally well. And I think it's just because, like, when you actually put your mind to something, like, it sounds so dumb, but it's like, I think another big piece about it is, like, you don't know how to study, like, it takes a couple years of college to know how to pass college. And there's, like, there's so many factors, like how you study, the time commitment, what you do and don't need to actually know, and how to, like, work with your professor right off the bat. If you get good chemistry with your professor right off the bat, that helps. All of that stuff really helped my last semester or two of college, where I just did exceptionally well because I knew how to actually study and what to study for, like actually reading the syllabus, actually looking for what to study, and then studying that instead of, studying the whole book and memorizing the whole book. Really focus on what needs to be focused on. But I don't know. All that aside, I did it. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about two big things, just kind of saying, I'm happy. I'm happy that I accomplished what I set out to do. But we're going to talk about two big things in this podcast. If I haven't already, ranted enough in the beginning, but two things, and that's my thoughts on college, and we're also going to talk about my plans after college. And jumping into it, my thoughts, my thoughts on going to college. I've had this conversation a couple of times with guests on this show. Is college worth it? A lot of the guests, maybe about 80% of the guests that have been on this show, I'd probably say 90% of the guests that have been on this show, have gone to college, graduated college, or dropped out of college. But they've been to college at least a semester, most of these people. And then, of course, the majority of them ended up, are still in college or graduated. So it's kind of weird because I kind of ended up with this college-type podcast. But, these are the people I reach out to because these are people that I know that have goals, that have done things, and things that I know you guys would learn something from. So, that be that. But college being worth it. It's hard to talk about it because I haven't suffered the consequences of it yet. And let me explain. Because I've gone to college without paying. I've paid money, right? I've paid for books, I paid for parking, I paid for those things. I've paid out of pocket my first couple of years in college. So I guess I couldn't fully say that. But the biggest thing is these last couple of years and the majority of my college career is I haven't paid for the bulk. And what I mean by that is because of student loans, right? I have 6 months now to start paying my student loan. So I haven't suffered the consequences by paying for what I've been doing these 6 years of college, right? So I can't be here like, college is great, college worth it, go to college until 8 months from now when I'm paying a couple months of my college. I'm like, this sucks. Was it really worth it? Now I have to spend the next 10 years, 15 years, or whatever it may be, paying for this college debt. Was it worth it, right? So I'm gonna continue this conversation down the road. But as of right now, right, knowing and trying to pre-plan of what I'm going to pay for college and trying to talk about it, what especially talking with guests and just everything I've kind of learned, I'm going to try to put it all in perspective and talk about what I think. And the biggest thing is college won't hurt you, right? Like the biggest thing of what I just said, of the worst thing about college, right, is the financial pressure, the money, the cost of what it's going to do to you. Is that worth it? It's never really, this is the thing too, it's never really, is college worth it? It's always, is the cost of college worth it, right? Is paying that amount of money to learn things, is that worth it, right? And that's a conversation I'll still need to continue to grow, right? But college itself will never hurt you, right? Educating yourself, that will never hurt you. But let me tell you guys why college, in my perspective, was really great, right? And I'm going to tell you guys a couple of things that may link with you guys. If you have gone to college, haven't gone to college, please leave some comments below. Let's continue the conversation. But, first of all, I went to Idaho State University, right? My local college. And the reason I did this right from high school is my thought process that really pushed me to go to college. What would I be doing if I didn't go to college, right? I'd be working. I'd be working full time. At that time, I had literally not, I was dancing, but I didn't have any set goals. I didn't know what I was doing, right? So I would have been just trying to figure that out, trying to work, trying to do those things. If I was going to be doing that, why not go to college? Why not continue to learn while I'm trying to figure my own life and myself out, right? Like, that to me was like, I'm not going to be doing much. Like, if I'm not going to be doing anything, then I need to be doing something. And college is something. It's learning, it's educating, it's mingling, etc. So that was my first, this is why I'm going to college, because I wouldn't be doing bigger things, right? If I could be making $100,000 a year, if I could be dancing or being a backup dancer, if I was doing big things, making a decent income of what I wanted to do, back then was dance, maybe different for you, then great, I have something to compare to. But back then it was working in retail and shooting dance videos. How could I not go to college? I went to college. I did that for 3 years. I danced, did shows, performances, things like that, shot dance videos, and went to college. Didn't find a problem. In fact, I found that there's more time than you actually think, right? Like, if you really want to grind and you really want to achieve your goals and dreams, like, there's so much time in the day. Like, I mean, yeah, you work 8 hours a day, you're tired, right? But there's when you get home, like, there's those 5 hours that you could be writing, like, thinking, writing up scripts, working with other people, collaborating, looking for performances, applying to for dance gigs, auditioning, so many things, right? So that was my first thing, right? But the biggest next thing is, while you're in college, is make the most of it, right? People come to college, and if you come to college and you just want to do your tests and your exams and you leave, it's not going to be worth it. It's 1,000% not going to be worth it. You'll learn maybe 10, 15% of information that will actually stick with you throughout college or whatever, but why come to college if you're just going to, like, check off things and do your little, like a checklist, like a to-do list, it's just kind of like a laundry list of things to do, and then you go to the next class and then the next semester and then you graduate, right? Make the most of it. Now, how I'm talking about that is go to the events. Like, if you are going to a college, go to the events, mingle with people, make friends. Like, I can't tell you, like, how I went to my first couple of years, especially when I was dancing, right? I was always going to anything dance related to music or whatever, and mingling with these people. Now, these people that I know, 2 of them have master's degree, and one plans to go to get his doctorates, right? Like, he is going to be making money, and he's going to be, like, really professional. Another guy I know is talking about opening up a school, right? Like, these things are very impressive of themselves. Now, how it will relate to me, especially back then as a dancer, you don't know. But having them kind of contacts and build those kind of contacts and building those relationships is extremely important. Go to these events, meet people, mingle with people. You don't know where those people are going to be. Yes, a lot of people also mingled with, dropped out of college and aren't doing very much, right? And when I say doing very much, they're kind of just working $7.25 jobs, blah, 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 which is fine, right? People have their own lives, right? But as me as a person, I was a dancer. I'm trying to think, back then when I was a dancer, my goal was to become a dancer that can make his own income from just dance, and also, earn some respect from around and build up not a fan base, but build up a portfolio and things like that. And so reaching out to people to help grow yourself, and to help them as well. There's been a couple of times someone's putting on a show or something, like, hey, I need a dancer. I'm like, I'm in, right? It's like, it's mutual. You help each other out, right? So that's just a very important thing, is mingling and meeting people. Like, you want to meet as many people as you can because it doesn't hurt you, right? You might find some fakes, you might find some ill people, but the majority of people, I believe, are really good at heart and really do have good intentions, right? And that's how I look at everybody until they prove that they're not trustworthy or they're not worth working with or talking to about serious things, like, it's just, you have to kind of mingle with people and kind of just feel that out. But again, mingle with people, meet the most people, because also I've met plenty of other dancers, right? Like, going to these things and getting out of class and meeting with these people. Like, I got to meet other dancers. I got to help be in some of my dance videos and things like that. Like, that actually benefited me directly, because they're a dancer, I'm a dancer. Every time they find a gig, they need someone. I find a gig, I need someone, vice versa. Like, we help each other out so much, and that wouldn't have been if I didn't get out of my comfort zone and go meet, right, and get that done. So make the most of it. Like, I have to say that. And, like, another thing too is, like, internships, right? Some people do, like, frats and things like that. I wasn't a part of frat. I don't know too much about it. I do respect, like, the brotherly stuff, but I mean, frats have this huge kind of stigma against them that they just party, drink, and whatever. But I do know that they do, like, people that are applying love to see that on applications, because they do a lot of good, a lot of donating their time. They do a lot of donation type things, charities. Like, they do a lot of good stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of love there too. But I'm just saying, like, internships or groups on campus, join them, right? Be around people that want to be great, right? People that are in college, like, I would hope so. People that go to college don't go to college like, I'm going to spend $40,000 and not make the most of my career, like, and not be the best me I can be, right? People that are here want to be something. They want to do something. And not only that, when you see them in college walk these halls, you know that they're trying to achieve something. And those are the type of people you want to be around. College is a great environment because these are all people that want to do something and that are great contacts overall, right? So, like, get in groups with them, work with them. There's so many types of clubs on campus. There's a club for literally everybody. And if you don't have one, most universities say you can start your own club with a minimum of 10 people in it, right? You find 10 people, which is easy. Find 9 other friends, 9 other classmates, get them, start a club, get that rolling, right? And then you can build your own club, surround yourself with people about a club that you want to be with, right? And like internships, right? Now, I worked on campus for a while, and I did, like, odd jobs, like, not IT, but I did, like, housing and grounds and, like, things like that where you, like, kind of work and get paid type thing. But, I mean, it is awesome to get an internship, and that's what really helped me a lot is I got an internship on campus for video, right? Literally who I want to be. Like, I run Gage Horn Studios. I do weddings. I do all that kind of stuff, music videos, commercials, promos. Whatever it may be, getting a video production job on campus was not like awesome because I get paid. It's an internship. I got to go to class and whatever. But now I have a mentor, which is awesome. I've had 2 bosses, aka 2 mentors during my internship, both completely awesome. So much information. They've been in the game for a minute. It was more corporate video work, but corporate video work helps all kinds of video work, right? It's like if you're a ballet dancer taking hip hop, jazz, modern, like doesn't hurt to take it, right? It's not gonna directly, help your flexibility or whatever, but it always helps with, new techniques, balance, ideas, thoughts, ways of thinking, new movements, gets you out of your comfort zone. It's always positive, right? Internships are the same way. Like, if you get in there, not only now do you have a mentor to check your own work and do your own thing, and like you're trying to do if you get an internship directly of what you want to do, like maybe you want to work at a museum or you want to do photography or whatever it may be, like there's internships all over campuses that you can look for, and if you get in one, you just found a mentor that can do one-on-one with you, right? Like it was so awesome for me to make work for my classes or make work outside and show it to my mentors or my bosses and be like, hey, what do you think of this? And they're like, oh, this is what I think, blah, 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 do this, this looks bad, this looks great, you're on the good track here, you're not on a good track here. And you get that feedback, go off of it, and then you just have such a better product because you actually had a professional look at your work, right? Internships are awesome. And now also on top of that, these guys, I can reach out to them outside, right? They're mentors for life. Aside from that, if I ever need video work or something, these guys are professionals. They know what they're doing. I can hit them up, be like, hey, I have this gig. Can you help me out? Or blah, 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 blah. It's just so awesome to have them, right? And you want to benefit them a little bit, right? Like if I graduate and I get a big gig and they need a second videographer or something, they're going to be one of the first people I call because they mentored me. They helped me. I want to give back, right? It's just such a good mutual relationship to build, again, with this mingling thing. So anyway, internships, clubs, frats or sororities, whatever it may be, get into it. And that's what I'm saying. Maximize it, right? Maximize it. I didn't do that fully the first couple years of college. I went to events and parties and mingled, right? But I didn't do internships. I wasn't looking for that stuff. Now I'm telling you guys, look for it, right? Just look for it. It can change your life, right? So, and last thing, I think a final thing I kind of mentioned with this kind of mingling is get close actually to your professors. Get to know and get close to your professors. What's really nice about professors is the same thing as a mentor, right? I could bring them work and they can view it and stuff like that because, college has this stigma, professors don't care. Yeah, I feel in your generals, they're kind of just pushing students, next set of groups, next set of students, pushing them through. When it gets into more to your career, and I'm taking classes with which I have some of my professors for years now, and multiple different classes, you get to know each other. And I wish I knew this beginning because I wish I knew just to get really nice and be as nice as I can and get to know them right off the bat and just be polite, be professional right off the bat and just mingle slowly and kind of just work this relationship because then your professors get to trust you. They know you want to do something. They might take a second glance at your work and really, really grade it and let you know, especially personally, like when I'm telling them, like, hey, this is my idea. I show them the product, like, hey, I liked your idea, but I think your video kind of missed that idea you're trying to capture, right? It's so much better. It's just so much better when you have these relationships with your professors. I've done internships with, like I said, my video, but I've also done internships directly with my professors, being like just under them, and then like I'd run things for them. Like, it's just so good. This is what I'm saying, is just make the most of it. If you go to college, make the most of it, right? There's still a debate. Is college worth 40? If you go for a bachelor's, $40,000, right? Around Idaho, 40 grand. Is that worth it, right? And like I said, I haven't suffered the consequences, but what I can say now is I love who I am. I love what I learned. I have so many professors, friends, mentors, colleagues that I can reach out to that I just never would have met. And these people are going to do great things. Some of these people I met are just such amazing videographers and filmmakers, and they're going to do such good things. And to have professors, like I've had a professor reach out to me after like they left campus asking about a couple of things, and I'm like, this is insane. My professor trusts me so much that they're able to reach out to me directly, even though there's no student-professor relationship, just as, two colleagues or whatever type of thing. Like, that's amazing, and that's what you want, right? And I know that I can reach out to them with any question that I ever have, which just makes it phenomenal. So I just wanted to kind of mention all that. I just think those are some of my thoughts, right? I'm still going to, when I face the consequences and see if I, flip, make $100,000 in a couple of years, or on a salary in a couple of years and start making big bucks and pay off my college, and I'm going to probably say it's probably worth it, right? But, it's also a side note. Right? Like, you can learn a lot of what you know in college on YouTube, online, right? There's a lot of people that do courses, especially for me. I'm a videographer, filmmaker, right? I can go and buy a $400 course, like on Full-Time Filmmaker or whatever, and just learn everything about there is video from a professional for way less money on my own time, all online. It's insane, right? That's possible. I haven't done that yet, right? There's a couple of other things that I have done, right? I've paid for some courses and smaller things on smaller levels and been a part of some conventions and things like that, right? But I haven't done that way completely. So there's so much more for me to experience in this world. But what I can say is I have learned a lot from YouTube. Like, any question you possibly have, like, what's frames per second? What kind of camera should I get? How do you get a cinematic shot? How do you work a gimbal? Like, everything is on YouTube, and I've learned a very high chunk of information. Now, this is where college and, like, right, should I go to college or should I go to YouTube University, right? This is where I think they work so well together, right? Is I can go on YouTube and learn so much information, practice it, and then bring it to my professor or to my college classes or do something, and they're like, wow, this is incredible. I love what you did here. I love this. And then they can, like, critique it, like, oh, this doesn't look as good, but maybe you do this. Like, they kind of work together where you try what college does, you try what YouTube does, and it just makes you a better creator because now you're kind of getting your mentorship and all these people above you kind of looking at the work that you're creating and saying, hey, good job, or a bad job. This is what, maybe fill some missing links, that also happens, right? Like, there's always been a couple of times things that YouTube will teach me, but I can never connect a couple of dots, and the professor will be like, oh, da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, that's how you do that, right? So, yeah, it's just a conversation, but as what I'm going to say right now, I appreciate that I went to college. I love that I went to college. I think that, I was able to get FAFSA. I have to also say that if I didn't have, I think a quarter to half of my college paid for through the government, shout out government. I never thought I would say that, believe me. But I am just happy that I was able to get that and to be able to get into college and learn these things. Like, I just feel like I'm just a much better person, a much better human being. I feel like I'm smarter. I'm not intelligent, but I'm much smarter than I was when I first came into to college, leaving high school. And I'm happy with the work that I made. So there's a lot more to go. The ending doesn't stop here. And that's why I'm talking about Full-Time Filmmaker, all these other courses online and YouTube University. That education doesn't stop. It just continues. But I have such a good base because of college. So talk about, is the money worth it down the road? But college worth it? I think college is 100% worth it. Now, moving on. Let's talk about plans. Let's talk about podcast, right? This is crazy. I just never thought I would be here, right? And it's so exciting. And you guys kind of maybe know my angle right now. It's a little bit of weird. It's because we're packing. wow, it's weird to say that out loud. I was born and raised in Pocatello, Idaho. Born and raised. I never lived somewhere else. I think when I lived in Utah for like a year, or maybe 2 years, when I was just a baby, 2, 3, 4 years old or something like that. But I was born and raised in Pocatello, Idaho my whole life. I've just never, I got to travel a little bit, but I never lived somewhere else, right? And I feel like I'm ready to grow to something bigger, right? Now, this is something, too, if someone's considering this, right? Sometimes when people finish college, they feel like they're a little bit too good for something. And I've had a couple of people talk like this, like, oh, I'm too good for this, right? Like, it's the big time, right? I've seen people graduate college. I'm going straight to New York City and becoming an actor, right? My thought is, right, I'd love to be a filmmaker. I'd love to be a videographer. I'd love to grow this podcast and meet amazing guests, staying like California, right? That's where videos pop in, become a filmmaker, work on sets, and amazing, outstanding people in California, right? People are really trying to do shit out there, right? It's California. People move out there. They want careers. They want to be actors. They want to do things, right? A lot of cool people that I can interview out there. But my thought is if you can't move to the next level and make it, what things you can jump 30 levels and make it to the top, right? And what I'm thinking is I'm moving not too far, but in a bigger area than this. I am moving to Boise, Idaho. Crazy. I'm super excited though. I really am. Like I feel like it's gonna be such an awesome time and an awesome area to be in. And it's bigger. It's bigger than Pocatello. I know a lot of you guys watching are from Idaho. And so you guys understand, like, that's a huge step, right? Why move to California and just fail out there immediately and just be another, trying to be something out there when I can just take a next step in my journey, which I think Boise's awesome. There's so much more to do. It's such a bigger environment. Plus, there are so many people there. So many people that I have, pretty much lined up that I've hit up so many people from Boise that, can't drive 3.5 hours for a podcast drive back, right? I mean, it's an issue. So to be there, though, and be like, hey, come down the street, like, let's do a podcast. Like, there's so many people that I want to interview. It's insane. You guys, like, I DM so many people to come on this show, so many people, and we have a pretty good success rate, but, a lot of these people live not here, and that's what's great about Zoom is I'm able to interview a lot of them, but I've been holding back on Boise because I want to have them in person and have the quality at its best, of course. And Boise's just popping, Boise is popping. And so to me, like I said earlier, that's my next big step, right? Other people that live in Boise are like, what? It sucks here. I'm going somewhere else, right? You do you. You do whatever the step is for you. And to me, I mean, this is the first time I'm moving away from my family, and not to be all emotional or whatever, but, like, you love your family. I love my family. I don't want to be too far right off the bat. I want to feel the kind of, which I've never felt before, which is weird to say. I've never felt homesick. Never, because I've been gone for maybe a week at a time, right? Like, it's just weird. So I want to feel that. I want to get out there. I want to interview all the people I want to interview out in Boise. A lot of business owners, a lot of people that are doing great things out there. Lots of artists. It's going to be so dope. So that's going to be amazing in itself. But I'm moving there because of that, the environment, the job opportunities, right? And because of right now, I shoot a lot of weddings. Me personally, I love weddings. You guys seen a couple of podcasts of me having photographers come on, talk about weddings. I love weddings, right? And I have about 15 weddings-ish in Boise this year. So a big thing that even really kind of pushed us is, like, we're going to be driving back so much. Like, let's just move there, And there's so much for my fiance to go for. There's so much for me to go for. There's so much to do podcasts, Gagehorn Studios wise. There's just a lot of opportunity. And not only that, like, it's not like I said, right, moving to California with zero references or people or contacts or opportunities out there. I'm moving to Boise where we already have 15 weddings. My fiance has a couple jobs lined up. Like, it's really awesome. It's really, really cool to actually just, make that jump. So I am just super excited to kind of announce that and kind of my thinking process behind it. If you guys have thoughts, right? I know everybody watching the show has always thought about moving somewhere, has moved somewhere, has made that decision. Like, what for you made that decision? And I guess this is for YouTube because you guys can comment. But if you guys are on Facebook on Imperfect Fam, please start a conversation there as well. But this conversation here, like, right, like, like what makes it for you? Like why do you move, right? Like let's talk cities. Like you're going from one city to the next, right? Not just across town. But what makes you move? Like what makes you go, this is it because there's more money, that's why you move? There's more family, there's more fun. You maybe like hiking, so you move to a more, open area or more mountains and things like that, or like what made you make that decision? I'd really love to know. But for me, it's just because of the opportunities, because of the people. And the biggest thing to me is what I've chased my whole life is I love to grow. And there's 3 things that I can see myself growing, right? I can grow myself, I can grow my business, and I can grow my podcast, right? And these aren't things I'm just jumping into, right? These are things that me and my fiance have looked at Boise and other places for a long time, but Boise for the last year has been our decision. We've kind of just built on why, right? Someone asks, why are you moving to Boise? I don't want to be like, it's bigger. Like, no, like I'm moving to Boise because I can grow myself. There's good friends that I still have up there. There's a lot of people that I know up there. Business-wise, my weddings are all up there, and podcast-wise, there's a lot of people that I've already hit up and mingled with and want to have come on the podcast, but the travel difference and things like that, we can have them come directly on the show. So, like, that's me, right? And, of course, we're still close enough to this area for people that, they're still around this area for people that I know. It's a little crazy. Like when you tell someone your plans, like it's a little bit, I feel a little vulnerable, you always feel a little bit vulnerable because it's like, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. And people sometimes can shut it down and this is such a bad idea. And it's, it's very vulnerable, but I want to be open and honest with you guys. Like I'm imperfect. I really am imperfect. That's what, I have it tatted on me, right? How many times can I show that tattoo? Like, this is my thinking process, but this is my thinking process. What is yours? I want to know. And like, we can help each other. We can learn and grow as a community of people. And that's the whole goal of this Imperfect fam on Facebook, right? Grow as humanity and as human beings. Be the best us as we possibly can, right? So I just kind of want to share those couple of things with you guys. Like, that's really all I had for you guys. I kind of just wanted to kind of get some information out there and kind of start this conversation because this is what I think about college, and this is what I'm going to do after college. These are my plans for the future. Are they going to work out? I don't know, but you bet your ass 1,000% that I will keep it real here, and I will be honest with you guys. If we move to Boise, the income drops, we can't survive, XYZ, you guys will know. I'm always real with you guys. I'll let you guys know if it was the right decision. Maybe staying here was better because I do have good things going here. But you have to take chances, right? Like, bigger risk, like, bigger reward, right? Like, you just have to do what feels right, And, I'm not been a fully religious man or anything and things like that, but I do believe that you need to act on what you think is right? What feels right. That's what you got to do. So, I don't know. I just want to share this with you guys. I'm imperfect. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just moving through this life as one little single organism on this big, huge rock planet. But we can do this shit together. We really can. We can learn. We can grow. We can just be the best us we possibly can. And with learning from each other, make the best judgments we possibly can about our future, about ourselves, about others, things like that, right? Those are my thoughts, guys. I graduated college. Crazy shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. We have an awesome guest coming out Monday. Be sure to watch for that. So I love you all. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.